en la televisión?
Bueno, primero que todo me presento, yo soy de Medellín, Colombia, y puedo ver un poquito de quién soy yo. Para los que no me conocen, tengo 21 años y llevo trabajando hace más o menos 5 años en la industria. Pues sí, es verdad que la televisión ha sido un gran canal para mi vida, para mi carrera. Primero tuve la oportunidad de presentar los Kid Choice Awards, donde tuve la oportunidad de ser el host. Aparte, pues me gané esa noche el premio, que era el primer premio que le entregaban a un colombiano o a un artista latino. Entonces me siento muy orgulloso de que también la Voz Kids, que fui coach de la Voz Kids, y amplió muchísimo mi carrera. Yo tenía un fanbase muy grande en Colombia, y con mi aparición en la Voz Kids hizo que en cada rincón de mi país y en cada rincón de Latinoamérica mi música sonara. Entonces me convertí más que en un cantante que llenaba solamente un público, me convertí en un artista, y eso consolidó muchísimo mi carrera. Y tengo que agradecer de una forma muy grande a todos los medios de comunicación que están acá y que me dieron la oportunidad, y que me seguirán dando la oportunidad, eso espero, de aparecer en sus televisores, porque para mí fue algo muy grande que me pasó en la Voz Kids Colombia, y ahora soy mentor de Natalia Jiménez en la Voz Kids aquí en Estados Unidos. Entonces, muchas gracias, y ese soy yo. Muchas gracias.
To get some of these concerts on the air, and recently I've seen that you guys have programmed Santana, Thalia, more Latin stuff, so tell us more about this strategy.
Sure. As you said, music's always been an important part, concert specials has always been an important part of the programming lineup at HBO, and it really, the philosophy is the same across all of our genres of programming, and really as a premium service, we really aim to provide our viewers with storytelling that's high quality, that's compelling, that's groundbreaking. And I think that's certainly been the case in terms of the music concerts that we've provided. We've been very fortunate that a lot of iconic artists have chosen to sort of tell their story on HBO. And that's certainly been true across the board. Most recently, we have started to do the same with HBO Latino, which, as you know, is our Spanish language premium channel. And it really just makes sense. Obviously, everybody in the room knows what a passion point music is for this audience. And so as that network has evolved, it was really important to us to bring music to HBO Latino. I've been fortunate enough to get access to some incredible artists, including Yandel and Drake, Santana, and to air those concert specials, but also to have access to the artists themselves, so that just as we do with HBO Main on Latino, we're able to really provide a glimpse into the artist in a very sort of unique way, and again, to be able to tell their story in a way that's very compelling.
What is the criteria, though, when it comes to deciding what goes on air or not? Does the artist have to have a certain stature level, or just visually the material has to be compelling?
Yeah, I mean, it really has to do with how the story is told. Yeah, and absolutely sort of how it looks, the quality, and I think the essence of the story itself. And I think specifically for HBO Latino, it's really important for us to be able to know that we'll be able to have access to that artist, so that we can. We've been accompanying these with, creating our own sort of documentary style pieces, and so knowing that we have the ability to do that, and that we can provide that additional insight into the artist. That certainly from a social media perspective, that we'll be able, we'll have the ability to have that exclusive content, and that we can push it out that way, is extremely important.
Right. Exposure break.
Yeah, most definitely. As Maria mentioned earlier, it's not only an essential vehicle for new artist development, but it's also essential and quite important for established artists. If anybody caught Romeo Santos on the Today Show earlier this week, we know the kind of impact that presentations like that have on an audience. And when you mention business development, we look at it in a very kind of 360 way. Not just the traditional promotional opportunities that we still benefit from with the award shows and the talk shows, but also the give an audience, more from an artist. And to explore artists' other talents, artists like Maluma, who are not just singers, but are also TV personalities and can act and can do other things. And it's a great opportunity to be able to show your fans that. Something that we feel fans crave more and more each day. They want to see more and more of their artists. And television is a great medium for us to be able to accomplish that.
That's great. And speaking of music television, Jose, you were the guru behind MTV.
About storytelling. So what we're doing is music doesn't have to be about a performance. It could be a story. It could be like Empire. It could be like Nashville. So what we're creating is content that it could be a straight up performance, award show, scripted show that you've seen before. So creating content that has a music DNA, but not necessarily as a music performance, whether it's short form, talking to advertising agencies, whether it's long form, talking to networks, or whether it's completely viral, talking to artists themselves, which is what we're doing right now. So we feel that there's a huge play because music hasn't gone away. Actually, it's bigger than ever. It's a different currency. It's not about transactional record sales. It's about what they call engagement. So Maluma is an artist, but he's a brand too. So how does he engage with his audience? That's the story that we're going to tell.
Do you think the music video, as we saw it, as we knew 20, 30 years ago, o las novelas o todo lo demás?
Bueno, yo creo que lo más importante de todo es ver que esa opción sea viable para tu carrera y tenga que ver con tus propósitos. Igual, tengo que decirte thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity to be in the Voice Kids right here in Miami and MTV, que siempre me ha apoyado bastante. Y para mí es bien importante decidir con quién voy a trabajar porque muchas veces te puedes desviar, ¿me entiendes? Muchas veces por aceptar una propuesta de algún medio de comunicación o alguna gran compañía, muchas veces puede ser que no sea una buena decisión para tu carrera. Entonces, lo que yo siempre he dicho es que siempre y cuando vaya con el fin de lo que yo quiero hacer en mi futuro y para donde quiero proyectar mi carrera, siempre voy a estar dispuesto a hacerlo, siempre y cuando haya un buen mensaje, siempre y cuando haya una buena conexión con la persona con la que yo lo vaya a hacer o con la compañía con la cual vaya a realizar una gran producción, siempre tiene que haber el mismo fin y como digo yo, siempre se tiene que nadar para el mismo lado para que ambos proyectos estén felices y para que el proyecto pueda surgir.
¿Y cómo balanceas cuando decides tomar un trabajo, por ejemplo, en la voz, sabiendo que te va a tomar un par de meses hacer eso? ¿Cómo lo balanceas con las giras, con la promoción, con todo lo que tiene que ser el trabajo de artista, de cantante?
Bueno, yo creo que primero que todo este negocio, como cualquiera, merece una inversión y la inversión más grande es de tiempo. Si tú quieres ver grandes resultados, pues tienes que meter en la cabeza que este negocio se necesita una gran inversión de tiempo. Y yo sé que si yo, por ejemplo, hago una temporada de La Voz Kids y dejo de hacer show durante 3 meses, yo sé que para mí no va a ser un problema, porque el exposure es tan grande en La Voz Kids que yo sé que después de los 3 meses, definitivamente el precio de mi show va a ser 2 veces o 3 veces mayor. Entonces yo no tengo ningún problema en dejar de vender show, de dejar de hacer giras, porque yo sé que siempre va a ser algo muy positivo para mi carrera pertenecer a una gran compañía o un gran proyecto como La Voz Kids.
Muy sabio. Maria, the breakout hit this year on TV was Empire, by far. I think it was the only show in the last 10 years to actually grow week on week when it came to ratings. Do you think we'll be seeing...
It's perfect, that are music driven. I think, and now Empire, I think it's definitely something new, a direction that TV now has to pay attention. If we have super series now, why can't we have that? So maybe, I'll pitch the idea.
De la producción. Entonces, cuando yo, por ejemplo, grabo ese tipo de programas, veo el movimiento tan grande que hay detrás de cámaras. Y si para nosotros los artistas es difícil estar tanto tiempo enfrente de la cámara, ustedes no saben el trabajo que hay detrás de cada producción. Entonces, claro que me gustaría, pero por ahora me quedo de coach.
Eventualmente, ¿no? Jackie, is there...
You know, I mean, artists like Romeo have that it factor, and he blows up. And I remember two years ago was it when we did the first HBO Latino concert series with Romeo, and it was just a no-brainer because of the massive reach that his music has, not just in the U.S. but abroad, and how infectious it is, and how much people love him. So no doubt about it, it's artists that have that well-rounded capability of not just not just getting up in front of the stage and singing, but also projecting their charisma and their personality to an audience in a different way.
And when it comes to HBO and the concert series, we kind of work all in one together. What's the criteria then? So for Sony to say, okay, it's Thalia or Santana or Yandel in this case, how do you guys decide? Is it a combination of talking to management and artists and everybody?
It is. It's a combination of where the artist is in their album cycle, the kind of programming that HBO Latino is looking for. In the case of HBO Latino, when we talk to a partner like HBO Latino, it's so important that they understand the artist, and they always treat the artist with such care, and they do such a wonderful job of showcasing that artist in just a genuine way that it's always a no-brainer with them. They also do a great job of putting together a 360 marketing campaign around each one of these properties, which really kind of goes the extra mile. It's not just a broadcast of a concert special. It's a whole platform that HBO Latino works on and does a wonderful job of promoting.
I wanted to mention the Romeo.
Bueno, me acuerdo la primera vez cuando conocí Instagram, no sabía ni qué era, ¿me entiendes? Me metí, tomé una foto cualquiera, metí un selfie, la subí a Instagram y como que no tenía mucha ciencia. Cuando vi los comentarios y empecé a ver las reacciones de los fanáticos y vi que era la mejor vía para tener comunicación con mi gente. Entonces de ahí empecé a subir una foto, 2 fotos, 3 fotos, el club de fans y los fanáticos empezaron a hacerse más y más y más. Luego llegó la aplicación de videos, porque no sé si ustedes recuerdan que al principio era solamente fotos, luego empezó la aplicación de los videos, pero me daba pena porque tú sabes, uno está acostumbrado a mostrar la cara a la gente en los videos musicales y tú estás en tu performance y estás bailando, estás cantando tu canción, pero es una cosa que no sucede en Instagram, porque tú en Instagram lo único que tú haces es mostrarte tal cual y como eres. Entonces llego yo y veo la aplicación de los videos y el primer video que me hice lo vi como 50 veces antes de postearlo, porque no estaba seguro. Luego vi que a la gente le gustaba ese tipo de cosas y que la comunicación era muy bonita con mis fanáticos. Luego empecé a hacer uno tras otro video y se volvió como en algo muy poderoso. Pues 3.5 millones de seguidores es mucha gente, igual como lo decía ahorita, yo no soy conformista, quiero estar en el Guinness Records de los más seguidos, pero de verdad que es algo muy bonito tener la oportunidad de compartir y tener ese contacto directo con los fans. Entonces, pues nada, no sé, yo creo que la clave para tener seguidores es siendo tú mismo.
Muy bien. ¿Vas a seguir posteando siempre?
Siempre, ya.
¿Y encuentras que Instagram, que Twitter y Facebook tienen la misma eficacia que Instagram para ti o no?
No sé, bueno, Twitter yo siento que ha bajado un poco desde que salió Instagram. Facebook sigue siendo el más fuerte, pues Instagram es como menos de la mitad de los seguidores que yo tengo en Facebook, y eso no me pasa a mí, sino que le pasa a todos los artistas. No sé por qué en Facebook, de pronto es porque hay muchísima más cantidad de gente que tiene acceso a Facebook, entonces por eso es que los seguidores son más. Pero sin embargo, Twitter, Facebook e Instagram son grandes plataformas para mostrar al mundo del arte.
Perfecto. Melissa, when time comes to release Ricky Martin or Pitbull or the Romeo record, how important is the new business development area nowadays? We talked about how it's replaced in many ways the promotional marketing aspect, but really walk us through that meeting when you guys sit down and realize you have the new Shakira record ready to go.
It's absolutely important, and we sit at the table with all the other departments in the label, and we're part of the strategy from day one. And that's exactly what we do. We look at what partners we can bring to the table that can help amplify that release and can help basically, get the best out of it. And television is definitely a part of it, but other media partners are as well as commercial brands and agency partners. We're very much involved in every aspect of it.
And from the television aspect, it's not only HBO, but you're also dealing with the Turners and the A&Es, AMCs, everybody else?
Most definitely. We have partnerships across the board, and it varies from artist to artist what partner makes the most sense for a long-form concert special. But the Telemundos of the world are also essential in the day-to-day, in the day-to-day promotion of an album release, of a single release. Very much so.
Are there more opportunities for long-form programming in Latin America or the U.S. media?
It's interesting. I feel like a few years ago there weren't that many opportunities for long-form music content. It kind of had a boom, and then it kind of went away for a while. But we're seeing a very strong resurgence, and it has to do with what Jackie talked about earlier. It has to do with the public kind of wanting the stories and wanting to kind of, get the most content that they can from their artists. So we're seeing a resurgence across the board, both in the U.S. and in Latin America.